everyone, I'm Becky.
And I'm Sarah.
And we're doing Bickering Book Reviews. Today we are talking about Impossible Music by Sean Williams, which I got off of Edelweiss.
Same.
It took a minute.
Everything today is going to take a minute.
It's true. So this book is about Simon, and Simon's whole world is music. He loves music, he listens to music, he plays in his band. His dad was kind of a famous musician. This is his life goal. He's going to be in the music field. Then one morning, Simon wakes up and he is completely deaf. And it turns out that he'd had a stroke in his sleep, and that had caused brain damage in the part of your brain that processes sound. And so now he has to figure out, how can he live? How can he process things? What can he do? Can he still be in music? He gets sent to deaf class where he meets G, who there might be a little bit of a romance thing going on, but she has other issues. And he's trying to basically compose music without there being music. And that's basically the book.
Yes.
Yes.
And now you're like, I don't know. So we were just talking about, before we started filming, the reviews that we saw on Goodreads. So I was reading those. And then now that you're talking about the summary, I'm in a weird place with it. I enjoyed the book.
I really enjoyed the book.
It went really well for me. But nothing really stood out for me to really talk about, though.
So I loved the parts where he was talking about music and how the music affected him and, why he was so passionate about it. But I also really found, the medicine behind how he went deaf fascinating. And when he was talking about different sign languages, because, it makes perfect sense that American Sign Language, because the book takes place in Australia, and Australian Sign Language are different, but that never occurred to me. But it makes perfect sense.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought that was really fascinating.
I don't know, because, I never got into the character of G. She... And one of the reviews talks about how she was essentially a manic pixie dream girl,
right.
Which she really was. And,
But this kind of boy book always has a manic pixie dream girl.
I don't think I like manic pixie dream girls, I think is what it comes down to.
I didn't view her as that, because I felt like her issues were realistic, and it wasn't just drama to have drama, because she had tinnitus so bad that she couldn't shut out the sound. And I thought that was interesting, because he couldn't hear anything, and she basically heard everything.
She was kind of a jerk, and I get the mirroring, and that's an interesting kind of layer to the story. She was just kind of a jerk, and so I didn't like her.
See, to me, they were also relatable, what they were going through. Because, you got to figure, each of them were living a life a certain way, and then because of one event. Because she had, their lives changed forever, and it was, are you going to adapt? Aren't you going to adapt? How can you adapt?
So yeah, it really is just like an identity book. When you've got this whole thing that is your identity, and it's taken away either because you can't hear, because of
right.
circumstances, what do you do? I don't know.
Right. Plus, I read it really fast, but like I said, I like books about music, and I like books about musicians and people being passionate about their music, and so, that hooked me, too.
See, and I think it was, actually the music that he was composing for the deaf, it sounded fascinating, but I think I would have wanted to see that visually. You know what I mean? And I don't know how. I don't know how you would have done that.
Right.
But I would have liked to see it. I don't know.
Like I said, I read it super fast, and it kind of hooked me.
Yeah, it was good, and I'll recommend it to other people. But to me,
it didn't make a huge impact. But I enjoyed it.
Out.
And I will say the concern, and I didn't see this, but there was an issue that the author was hearing. And some people feel like it should have been an own voices kind of story. And I think he did it respectfully, but maybe he didn't fully get there. And I can't say that because I haven't experienced that.
Right. Because he does talk about in the back of the book, he bases it on his own kind of medical issues.
Right.
That he was unable to experience music in the same way that he used to. I think it was a nerve disease. I can't remember.
But I read it.
So then that gets back to, well, should he have written it using kind of his own experience? Because you could have still, using his experience, the way he describes it at the end, it could have been the same book.
Right.
Maybe.
Because he says in his author's note that to him this was what he experienced, but just told slightly different. I don't know. I don't know what the perfect thing is.
I don't either.
Should we just rate it?
No, I think it's good. And like I said,
I enjoyed it.
Let's rate it.
So our rating system starts at the top from 5 unicorns. We go down to 2 unicorns. If we don't like it, it's a horse.
So I went 3 unicorns. I will recommend it. I mean, it went quickly. It was engaging. It was interesting. There's nothing that like overwhelmingly stands out. Like, I don't know if I'm necessarily going to remember the 60 books down the line.
See, and I'm like at 4 because I only read it 4 days ago, but I enjoyed it. Like, it was an enjoyable, and I had been having struggling times with other books, and I really enjoyed this. I don't know if it's something that's going to resonate, and I'm basing this entirely on my experience 4 days ago. That's where I am.
I think I want to spend my whole life just, like, basing every decision on my experience from 4 days ago.
That's true.
Like, 4 days ago, this is what happened. This is why I feel that way. Yes. And if I feel different 8 days from now, well, that's not you.
Yes. So that is where we are on Impossible Music.
All right, see you around.
Bye.